How you going, RPG fans? I thought I'd kick off celebrations a little bit early. I was going to start posting my Suikoden videos tomorrow, but I'm too excited, so I'm going to start tonight, and the celebration's going to carry on until the 15th of December. Before I actually get into talking about the games and showing off my collection, I do want to do this short little video talking about the original tale of the 108 heroes, and it's a story called The Water Margin, and it is one of the four great stories of Chinese literature, along with Dream of the Red Chamber, Journey to the West, which a lot of people would know about, and Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and especially if you're a big Koei fan and love Dynasty Warriors, you'll know all about Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And the other one is The Water Margin. Basically, the story talks about 108 rebels or outlaws back in the 12th century, which was the Song Dynasty, and the government was very oppressive and the people were suffering. So 108 heroes or outlaws band together and fought the government. Now, in about the 14th century, the story was written, and it was written into 100 chapters. Now, what I'm gathered, 70 of those was written by the original writer, and then the last 30 was written by another person. I could be wrong about this, but the person who wrote Romance of the Three Kingdoms wrote the last 30 chapters. 100 chapters, that's insane. That's a very long tale, and it's one that I really, really want to read. I haven't been fortunate enough to find a copy of it. I did actually search on eBay just before I started recording this video. I actually did find some copies, so I'm definitely going to put a bid in and see if I can get one. One of the funny things I found out was that the power of this book is pretty far and wide. What I've heard was during the end of the 14th century, where there was a bit more rebellions, they banned the book because it was giving people wrong ideas, because they wanted to suppress rebellion, and people who would read the Water Margin would take up arms against the government. So damn, there's got to be some strong stuff in there, so I'm really looking forward to reading it. In the 18th century, the story made its way to Japan and it was translated, and the Water Margin was translated into Suikoden, which is Japanese for the Water Margin. And ever since then, there's been many retellings of the story. It's been adapted to different mediums, and I won't go on about too much. I probably will talk about this in another video, but I do want to show you one adaptation that I actually do own, and I found this on my spiritual trip to Melbourne, for which all of you who watch my East videos will know about. It was the wonderful trip where I reacquainted myself with the East series. But along that trip, that day where I was going around buying many things, this was one of them, and it's the Shaw Brothers movie, The Water Margin, of May 1972. And I did pay a ridiculous amount for this movie back in about 2006. It was about $40, and that's, you know, you can get special editions that cost less than that of most movies. But when I saw this, I didn't register. I looked past this DVD shelf of all these weird, exotic import movies, and I didn't register seeing this at first. But when I got to the bottom, my mind clicked, and I basically stood up and saw it, and I'm like, hang on. So when I found out that this was a movie based off the books, I had no hesitation in buying it. It's not a bad movie. You do get the feeling that when you step in the movie that you've missed a lot of stuff, but at the same time you can come into it and enjoy it. It is extremely dialogue heavy compared to other martial arts / Chinese cinema of the 70s, but I do enjoy it. It's personally, as a Suikoden fan, I want to know so much more about the Water Margin to see where they drew the inspiration of. From what I've gathered, it's mainly just the main theme of the 108 heroes. But I personally would love to know more about the Water Margin. So So I thought I'd just share that little bit with you, just to all those people that may not have known that. Um, if it wasn't for the water margin, we wouldn't have Suikoden. So um, a lot, 1,000 thanks is not enough for that. Okay, now my next vid, I'm going to finally. I've been waiting all year. I've basically joined YouTube to do this, and anything else I do after this is a bonus. The next video that I will upload will be the first of my showing off my Suikoden collection. So I really hope you can gather around and see the love in action. Alrighty, see you guys.